Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new market update of me, Crypto Michael, in which we will be discussing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. As the markets are still doing fine and my eyes are not. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and that you can do that beneath here, and I would be very happy if you do that. What do we see on Bitcoin at this point is that we are currently facing the resistance around 38k. We had some new volatility again due to Elon Musk doing all that kind of stuff on Twitter. I'm still not convinced that his account is doing that he was it by himself, especially the amount of tweets. But hey, who cares? That's why this momentum here happened. Right now we're just facing the resistance zone, which is this block around 38k, which was the next resistance zone after 35. We have discussed that 35 was quite critical. If 35 breaks, we could halt a little around 38, but the next area is around 40.5 and 42 if we continue to grind. So what is the critical level to hold on to for Bitcoin at this point? That's the region around 35. If that sustains support, we are most likely seeing continuation towards those all-time highs, and then you can actually start building a range-bound construction in which this gray zone is the support, in which this area is the resistance. I'm not assuming we're going to see a new impulse wave already, especially after such a breakout as we saw here. And you can see that also during November and December we had a sideways construction, and also during the halving period we've made those constructions here. Next to that, we should be aware that the CME futures of Ethereum are going to be listed on the 8th of February, which is in 3 days from now. And you should be aware that those events are usually a buy the rumor, sell the news concept, as we know what happened in 2017 to Bitcoin. I'm not assuming that we're going to be in the same phase with Ethereum, but still the fact that a temporary top could be made on the listing, given that there is some momentum and some hype surrounding that listing. Next to that, we also have the DXI, which is still grinding up. I think it's a little out of balance, given the fact that this one is grinding up, the equity markets are grinding up, and Bitcoin is grinding up. So I think we're going to see the news or some repairs of that balance coming up in the next few weeks. So whether Bitcoin or equity markets are going to make a correction, that is all up for debate. But if we check the higher time frames from Bitcoin, we can just see that we have a range-bound construction, and should be breaking 38k. Otherwise, we're going to chop around just like we did previously. You should also be seeing this period here as the period we've seen in the summer of 2019. Also a sideways correction which broke south, but we were chopping a little before we started to continue, and that is not a very bad outcome. However, I've shared a tweet about Grayscale yesterday, in which the current period looks quite similar to the end of 2016, as there are still Bitcoins going off the exchanges, which means that there are still Bitcoins going towards hard wallets or offline wallets as an investment approach. And that is very similar to the end of 2016 and the beginning of 2017. What do we see on Ethereum? Ethereum hit the next level of interest, which is around this 1.618 Fibonacci area. What to expect? At this point, it's quite difficult given that the CME listing is coming up. Also, if you look at the higher time frames, this is a very vertical chart. But on the daily time frame, we held the critical level around 1270, as you see. So we have to hold the previous high, which is this region between 1340 to 1410. That range has to hold. So if we get a corrective move, I would be looking at that zone for a potential long. Depending on how strong we're going to react, you can define whether we are going to make a new impulse wave or whether we correct further. But if the price of Ethereum can't hold 3040 to 1410, then we're going to see a further corrective move. But this is the area that I should be looking at if you want to enter for longs. And if we get a corrective move, given the CME listing that is just going to approach, higher time frames are just a little too vertical in my belief. But hey, nice if you are holding Ethereum. Congratulations. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Overall, we still see that we are making an upwards grind here, which is beautiful. I will just erase the volume a little. That's not possible. Okay. So we see this nice upwards grind. Higher lows, higher highs, in which we are just flipping a level as well. If we lose this level that I've marked around 0.4 sets, I think we're getting that gray box correction before we start to continue and run towards 0.56 and 0.8. So the idea of correcting and then starting to run is still the same, but that is also depending on what the CME futures are going to do in the coming days. So we just broke this daily level at 0.43. If that is lost, I assume we retest the 0.39 level, and then you can get such a correction as that we have discussed in the past minute. Chainlink is providing a beautiful price action chart in which you can see, apologies for that, in which you can see that we are currently flipping every previous resistance level for support. We flipped this level here, we flipped this level here, we did a test here. Therefore, we are currently trying to break out upwards, making new all-time highs with weaker volume. So we want to see the level around 2480 hold and then 2350. If that doesn't hold, we might be getting another test of this support area before continuation. Overall, looking quite well, but it shows that you should be looking at support resistance flips before continuation is likely to happen. So thank you for watching for this very small market update. I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh one, and I hope you enjoy your day and subscribe to the channel.